Hey, happy June 1st and good coffee Saturday morning. So, on the good news, it seems that almost all pollution problems have been solved. According to the mass media, there's not too much to worry about in the pollution world. The new plans for deep sea ocean mining are pretty well set up. Don't worry about those. We don't need blowout preventers on deep wells. We don't need any assurance that they're going to work because the community is going to cover all of those costs. But let's just go sports ball. So these things matter to the long-term health of your neighborhood. And all you have to do to realize how vulnerable your neighborhood is go outside of your neighborhood. Go take a long drive and visit somewhere and see how other people live. It turns out less than half the country has been away from their home. And while that's admirable, that's enviable to some, it makes your world seem so small that your food comes from the grocery store and the 7-Eleven. I don't know how complicated everyone's world needs to be. But if our government does not work for us, if the knowledge and understanding of the earth itself is ignored, we're destined to perish. And what's unfortunate is people know this. It's inevitable. It's what happens to all life as it passes. The dinosaurs are one example. The South American cultures that were failing long before Europeans arrived on the shores. It was a continental civilization covering most of South America and part of North America. All of North America. These tribes go back some 18,000 years on this continent, and huge civilizations were developed. And we mock them. We try not to learn from them, we mock them. We want to rewrite history as if some god came in and changed the world significantly. And the only thing that idea changed is people. The world wasn't too worried about it. Its lessons are here for us to learn. So, how we can ignore these things, how we can not understand them, after, again, my lifetime. These things were learned in 62 years of my time, because what I learned was built on from before I was born. And that's how learning is. So it's almost frustrating to have these conversations. It's like, what nation did the rest of these people were they raised in? How come a good portion of our country, and I'm going to say it's 20% of America, less than 20%, has this mangled notion of time and history, and there is a very good, strong reason for that. And we know the reason. We can understand the reason. We can see what it's trying to protect and the wealth behind it. In the industries that control the flow of this planet, the steel industry that mines in South America, that refines and purifies in India and ships it to China. These are strategic national reserves. Now, that used to be a very meaningful word right after the war. It was one of the things most people have heard about, the strategic petroleum reserves, which were meant to keep America going in the time of war until we could find alternate energy sources, I guess. Because it is a finite amount of oil we've got in the ground, period. How quick we can get to it to keep America running. So that's strategic national reserves. It used to be that still is kind of a well-guarded secret, but that includes the industries to manufacture whatever we need. For the military, it's considering we need a war, but the real war is survival. The real war is, how do we let our neighbor live as comfortably as we do? Do they deserve to? Well, another chat about existential topics. But to me, I'm talking around pollution, around why we can't understand what pollution is, why we can't see pollution in our media, in our conversations. The young Earth games, the flat Earth games. You're talking such a minority of the population that's another show. So instead of encouraging that shit, just do what you need. Well, I had to ramble, get one out. Maybe I'll come back with something focused in a bit, but happy Saturday.